Hey everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Gonna do a little walk around in the homestead and show you some updates going on. It gets dark early now. Shortens my day. It rained most of the day on and off, so I didn't get a lot accomplished outdoors. The greenhouse, although it has no windows, is still alive and beautiful inside. I'm not going to disturb, well, the plastic's down. I can go through the doorway. Plastic fell down. I can't believe everything is looking good. The chamomile died, but my herbs are still growing. Quite impressive and amazing here. The corn died. The popcorn died. It didn't make it. But also my alcaponics is still alive and growing. Although I'm going to dismantle that and take the water out before it freezes too bad here. And let the fish go. But this is really amazing. Just having the plastic on here extends the growing season tremendously. Getting everything cleared up for the winter. I still have all this wood to process. Now I've still been working off the property a lot, so I haven't been around much. But I want to get all this put away before it's really snowing heavy. Any new wood I'm bringing in is going out to a different place, so I have a lot more wood than what you see here that I have brought in. So I got quite a bit to do, quite a bit. The barrel, I mentioned it before, is going on the trailer as fenders. We'll get to that in another time. Over here, I don't get mad and panic and get upset on me. What I do on the side is my small engine business. Over here, you might notice something new on the homestead. It is one of the most beautiful, well-maintained machines. Actually, the single most well-maintained, beautiful machines I've ever had. Relatively new compared to everything I've ever had my hands on. Craftsman 15.5 horse engine, turbo cool, 42-inch 6-speed transmission, 42-inch cut, has a easy 3 mulch bag discharge. I did not get the mulch bag. I paid $20 for this machine. Look how beautiful. I've never had one with an intact seat. Craftsman has a trailer hitch right on it. Really amazing shape. The QC system, I don't know what that means, but to even have all the logos and decals still on it is an incredible thing. $20, guys. I could easily fix this and sell it for between $500 to $700. Now, it's a wonder that it actually is not blown up, like literally. I found out with these newer model machines, this is the newest I've ever had my hands on. I always work with old stuff and junk. People wear them out and get tired of them and hand them down to me. That being said, like I said, the newest thing I've ever had my hands on, the newer model machines have a problem, very common on these. There is a raised gas tank higher than the engine, and there's no fuel cutoff line or valve, but there's an electrical shutoff in the carburetor. Well, what happens often is these will fail after about 5 years or so, 5 to 7 years I read, in the open position. So that will allow, if the engine shuts off with the intake valve open, fuel can just gravity feed from the gas tank into the carburetor, into the engine, bypass the valves and fill the crankcase with gas. This machine was filled as high as it could be. A full gallon of gas was in here. This was full to the top with gas. It was horrible. I'm wondering if maybe after it had all filled up, he went and put more gas in it, because there was a lot of gas in this thing. Anyway, what often happens is if you're lucky, the engine is hydrolocked, it won't turn, and you think your engine froze up. If you're not so lucky and the engine does start, it could run. Once the gas in the crankcase ignites, it blows the back end off the engine. Not nice, not pretty at all. Fortunately, this one didn't turn over. It was seized up. So I cleaned it out and replaced the oil and thought it would start up right away, but one of the safety switches is shot somewhere along the line. One of the safety emergency shutoff switches isn't working. So I'll have to get that fixed. Not a big deal. Now over here, I'm not going to take the time to show you now, but this is a very new, still has the tags on the machine, okay? MTD has all the tags on the machine. You don't see that very often in my hands. I always get them after they're junk. Brand new looking, not a flaw in the machine. Hardly any use on it at all, except the air cleaner is missing. Why, I don't know, so I'll have to get one of them. And the cover flap is missing. But beautiful. Would you believe that was being thrown away? I sprayed some carburetor cleaner in, pulled the starter, and it starts up and runs. What a beautiful machine. So I'll be selling that in the spring. So, as a lot of you know, some people are going to complain that I have junk in the property. Well, this is what I do for money on the side. And this is one of the best finds I've ever had. This one and this one here are the deal of the century. So beautiful. Look at it. So anyway, I wanted to share with you and be honest what I'm doing out here on the off-grid homestead. But I've got to get these inside out of the weather, because these are both the nicest, like I said, that I've ever had. Both of them. Really incredible. This little beauty was also on the side of the road for free. An old 10-inch Sears Craftsman direct drive. Means the blade is right on the motor. Doesn't appear to be anything wrong with it. The angles adjust. It was outdoors for I don't know how long before I picked it up, but came with the miter gauge. I think that's what it's called. I've never had one. Can you imagine? This is the first time I've got a saw that had it. So how cool is that? It's got the adjustable fence. So really amazing. This side, you can tell it wasn't used as much. I'll have to clean it and oil it. This side has a little bit more wear. You can tell a little bit of wobble in there. So that was the side to use more than this side. But anyway, it's there. It's all there. Extension on the table over here. I don't know what that was, to be honest. No idea. It looks like it's got big wheels on the bottom. Somebody had put an arm and put big wheels, so it easily moves. Therefore, this one is perfect for ripping my longer boards out here that I cut on the lumber mill. So then this is exactly what I wanted, and there it was sitting on the road for free. So what you get is you cut with your chainsaw mill, you cut 2-inch thick slabs out of your tree, and then you recut them on the table saw to your 2x4s, your 2x2s, or your 1x2s, or whatever you want. You can recut on the table saw to your dimensional lumber, thereby saving gas and oil in a chainsaw, and I can run the table saw for free on solar power. How cool is that? Further, causing us to be energy independent by using even less fuel on the chainsaw, using solar power. I can now resaw all my lumber on this thing. I mean, that's just great. That's exciting. So what a find. So I've got to get this in out of the weather, covered up, and probably put it under the extension of the roof over here that I was talking about doing, and keep it safe from the elements. But anyway, that's what's been going on around here on the side, outside of working off the land and stuff. that's what's been going on here. Didn't get around to it today because of the weather, and I was on the road too much today, but I want to start rolling up some logs on this lumber mill and do that on video and show you how that works. But I also don't want to lumber mill you out and do nothing but lumber mill videos every day. So we'll do that in another day coming up. Once I'm comfortable with it and know how, exactly how I'm going to do this. A lot of people were asking how I plan on getting logs in here. It doesn't look like very wide with my hand here because I'm in front of the camera. Oop, far, close. Anyway, I can run a garden tractor through here. I know it does not look very wide at all. It's about 4 feet or so wide. I can run a garden tractor through here, pull it straight on through to haul a log, and to line it up there, and then I can roll it up the frame with a cant hook. That's my plan. Or I hook up to a tree with a come-along. So I'm working on an idea to make a sled to roll the logs around the property more easily, so I can slide it right up in here and then use the rack there, the ramp to roll them up. So that's the plans. Whether that works out or not, we will see. But I intentionally decided to leave the chainsaw mill here under the protection of the shed, both sheds, so it has shelter on 2 sides, and then I don't have so much to deal with. And also I do want an open-sided shelter through and through, so I just want a roof over this of some sort so that air flows and I don't get gassed out from the fumes. It can start fast. I don't like this time change. We've got a little bit of a pile here. You can see where I had put the newer ones up on there. On this quart, there was a quart of firewood here, and we're down to just the base layer that was on the ground, plus we had built up a nice heap here, and I had replenished that 2 to 3 times. So we've used about a quart of wood already in September and October, because we started heating it September. So I'm pretty certain we used a full quart of wood. That's 3 face cord already heating our off-grid tiny house. We are using entirely nothing but firewood. We are heating our chalet, our tiny house, with nothing but firewood. So that's pretty good. I think that once I process all the wood that I have, we'll have enough for winter, but I'm not going to stop processing because I want to get more and more and more, because you're supposed to have enough for the next year already. So until the snow covers the ground and we can't do it anymore, that's my goal. Keep on processing firewood. So that's it, guys. Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. That's updates from the Off-Grid Homestead. Getting dark fast as I talk to you. Look at that. Once it starts to get dark, it gets dark fast. Something, by the way, is hunting our cats. We're down to just a couple. From all the kittens we had. Someone or something. We don't know. There's not a trace. And it's been happening at odd times of day or night. Early periods. Even when we're home and there's not a sound sometimes. Sometimes in the early evenings when we're inside. One day we lost one in a midday on a Sunday when we were at the house. I don't know what's going on. Some people claim that they've moved closer to us to be able to cause us more trouble, and they claim to be, well, they're making claims. I'm not going to go further on that. You guys don't want to hear that, but let's just say they're bragging about stuff. So I don't know what was going on. The ones that vanished were friendly, people loving cats. So I don't know what happened. One of my viewers, out of the blue, I didn't mention this, out of the blue somebody suggested he's sending some cameras. That'll be very helpful. I got a question on YouTube, funny enough, the other day, with all the cameras I've ever had, why I never have any footage for security. The reason is, as I've mentioned repeatedly through the years, the cameras I had were garbage, and they keep failing on me. I've never had luck with the game cameras. So I have 2 that sort of work, And like even the $300 camera, it doesn't pick up a lot of stuff sometimes, which is frustrating. I don't know why. And a couple of them quit entirely. Well, they have a 3-second trigger, some of them, and that's not good. It's not useful. Something passes by, 3 seconds is a long time. Anyway, so hopefully those will arrive soon, and I'll get them out here and find out what's out here at night and take care of things. Keep our... Ow! There goes one of them. Thought it was playing with my leg. I wasn't playing. Anyway, start, being more... get better security going on here, because I'll be honest, it's been pretty rough. Every time I try to move cameras around or keep them going, it hasn't worked out. I do have security on the off-grid shops, and because it's off-grid, there's no cables to cut or tie, and nothing anybody can do to destroy it. So I've had to protect them because they're out so far from the house, and thankfully that's helped out. Anyway, it's Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Another day comes to a close. Please like, subscribe, and share, and follow our daily videos as we strive to become fully self-sufficient and off the grid on a budget. Good night. Well, there, guys, is something new. I have an LED light from Harbor Freight. Time will tell if it's any good or not, but I have it plugged into the off-grid solar power on my electronics shop, and I can see fairly good here, but I definitely need 2 angles, because although I can see on this side very well, there's a lot of shadows, and working with a flashlight, a few people suggested flashlights and were mocking me and laughing why I'm not running a chainsaw with a 36-inch bar in the dark with flashlights. Well, because I don't want to trip and fall in the dark on a 36-inch bar chainsaw. Not wise. So flashlights don't sit stable very well. They roll around. They're intended to be held in your hand and not to be mounted or set down and braced somewhere. And I need a higher angle like I have here. And as you can see, it's darker over here. Now the camera, at least on my display, is lightening it up brighter than I can see. But like, for example, I can't see the chainsaw bar or anything in this area. And right here is in dark shadow for my eyes. So, very dangerous to work in that condition. Now, from here, I can see pretty good. So, I'll be able to work a little bit. But I want to have 2 lights at 2 different angles to take away any shadows and any risk of tripping and falling. But it's a start. I do have another light. I have to find it. I was using it last on a project in the house, so I have to find that, and then I'll have my 2 lights. But even with 1 light, I think you can see it's just too dangerous. Over here is really dark. I didn't see that cat until it came into the light. So the camera really amplifies the light, my eyes don't. And I just don't think it's safe. But we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. One more. Well, I have it. I have it now. I get that other light out, and I'll hang it up out here, and we'll be good to go. I'll be running the chainsaw after dark all year long.